The Anth James Gameplay Overhaul, or as we like to call it, the Anthony James's Gameplay Mod. This is a different kind of a tutorial video, not like the ones I usually do, but as I play on the Anthony James's Gameplay Mod, and a lot of people play on the Anthony James's Gameplay Mod, they struggle to navigate through the standalones, the options, the bases, the presets, all that sort of stuff. There is a problem that occurs very frequently in Ant's Discord server that people can't distinguish between standalones, options, bases, and presets. And as the gameplay package, the full gameplay package, includes more than 370 options, it's a bit tough to navigate. But if you have read all Anth's PDF files or his README files, then you'll find that it's actually pretty easy to know which one is what. So in this tutorial video, I'm gonna break down step by step the Anthony James's full gameplay package, the V7 version for FC25. So let's dive straight in. As you can see, when you download or get the mod, the full gameplay package from Anth's Patreon, you get access to his Discord server and you get this folder right here. You get a zip file, you unzip that and you get this folder, Anth's FC25 Gameplay Mod V7 Upgrade Full Gameplay Package with, of course, the current title update of FC25. And when you enter this folder, you are forwarded to this folder right here. As you can see, that here are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 PDF files. Alright, I'm gonna come back to these PDFs in a bit, but let's dive straight into the standalones first, and the bases, and the options, and the presets. Let's just let you guys know what's what. Alright. So when you open this folder right here, it will show up another two folders. Here you can see there is a folder called options and there is a folder called standalone versions. All right. So let's start with the standalone versions. All right. The V7, which is the newer one, it has some standalones, and the older versions, the V4, V5, V5.5, and V6, these also have their own standalones. All right. Let me pause here right now. A lot of people actually doesn't know what the term standalone actually means. The term standalone means that it's an all-in-one package. Let me be very clear here. It's an all-in-one package. All right. If you think of it like a pizza or a burger, it's ready-made for you. And if you go to the V7 new folder, you have bonus versions, Natural X series, regular versions. These are all standalones. Think of it like a burger. All right. These are all burgers that you can order and straight away you can eat. You have your patty, you have your bun, and you have your add-ons or your options, right? Already built in to your burger. So that's what the standalones actually are. They are all-in-one packages. All right. So when you get to this standalone versions folder, The older versions, if you liked the older versions, you can get the older version standalones, no problems. But let's just focus on the newer ones. The bonus versions, these include some extra stuff or extra standalones. Extra fast and fluid, the one I use, slow and fluid, and there is another one called wildcard. Alright. The Natural X series, it's brand new. First, it was only the Natural X, the Natural X Plus. In the updated V7, he dropped another one completing the trio, that's the Natural X Flow. It's a hybrid between the Natural X and the Natural X Plus. Alright. So, you can play the Anthony James's gameplay mod just by the standalones. You just have to drop it in your mod manager and you're good to go. You don't have to do anything because, as I said, the burger analogy that you order a standalone or you order a burger that you like or you order 5 burgers. Let's just say you order these 4 burgers all at once. You try all of them, see what you like, then pick the one that you like the most and go with that one. That's what the standalone versions are actually is. There is a readme file here. Very important. All V7 standalone versions have been organized into separate folders for easy navigation. Regular versions includes the V7 standard V7 standalones, regular, slow, fast, and default movement. Natural X series contains the new flagship standalones, Natural X, X Plus, and X Flow. Bonus versions features additional standalones, wildcard, slow and fluid, fast and fluid, extra fast and fluid. This important note here, only select one standalone at a time. These are all in one gameplay modes and should not be mixed with other standalones. You can't mix two ready-made burgers together. That's what this line actually means. And as I said, you order a burger, it comes ready-made. So that's the all-in-one gameplay mode line. Alright. There is another tip here. Alright. Before adding options or preset, spend some time playing with the standalone versions first. I'm gonna come back to this line actually. Finding your reference point within a standalone is crucial before layering on customizations. I'm gonna come back and give the burger analogy again and how to add bases, how to add presets, options, that sort of stuff. So, you order a burger that you like very much. Just like, for example, I run the fast and fluid. I like this burger, the fast and fluid. So I put it on my mod manager. I played 20 games. You have to try the standalones first to get a feel of what does every standalone do. All right. Extra fast and fluid. The names they speaks for themselves. The wild card, it's actually unpredictable. All right. If you go to if you try the wild card, it's these standalone. It's actually unpredictable. You're not gonna know what's gonna happen. All right. Slow and fluid. The name speaks for itself. The slow meaning that the movement is slow, the game speed is slow, but the player movements and the ball movements are fluid. Fast and fluid. Game speeds are fluid. The games are mostly end to end with increased attack. All that sort of stuff. All right. Extra fast and fluid, it's absolute bonkers. The game speed is very fast, very attacking, end to end, and but the player movements and the ball movement is fluid. All right. So there's that. The Natural X series, it's the most realistic dynamically and gameplay wise, also movement wise. The Natural X is the base of these two. These two are built on the ground or the from the foundation of the Natural X. All right, this is the most realistic way to play FC25 regarding the player movements, regarding the ball movements, regarding the gameplay speeds, that sort of stuff. All right, the Natural X Plus. This one, as I said, these two are built from the same foundation as Natural X. But the Natural X Plus, it's actually the same thing as the Natural X, but with a slower tempo or a slower gameplay speed. All right. And the Natural X Flow, I'm explaining this in the easy way. All right, so that you don't get confused. And the Natural X Flow, it's a hybrid between these two. The Natural X Flow, you can call it Natural X and Fluid. All right, it has that core fundamentals of Natural X. It has that doesn't have that slower tempo like Natural X Plus, but as I said, it's a Frankenstein. It's a hybrid between these two. All right, so there's that. Try these standalones out. Regular versions, default movement, fast, regular, slow. These are related to game speeds and player movements, so that sort of stuff. First, try out the standalones all on their own. All right. Try the default movement, play 10 games. Try the fast, play 10 games. Try the regular, play 10 games. Try the slow, play 10 games. Same with the others. All right. At least play 10 games. See which one you like and then stick with the one you like the most. That's why in the README files Anth said, before adding options or presets, spend some time playing with the standalone versions first. Alright, I have said exactly that. Pick and choose your standalone based on playing the standalones only first. Play 10 or 15 games with each standalone. Alright, then pick and choose what you like the most and build from there. Now then, the options. This is where it gets a bit tricky. This is the part where people get confused. There is presets and there is bases. All right. A preset, as the name suggests, it's something, these things: attack preset, contrast preset, defensive line drop preset, light, methodical, minimal, pressure, subtle. These are there to help you get started. Nothing more, nothing less. If you see this README file here explained, Anth says, I have created the preset options to help you get started if you don't want to spend time navigating and exploring yourselves. And by exploring yourselves, he means exploring options or bases. Alright. Each preset option features a cluster of different options combined into one to help lean you towards a particular style of gameplay. Alright. And he also says inside each folder you will find a breakdown of the included options for each preset. Alright. But there is a disclaimer right here. You can use more than one preset if you decide, but please use common sense here. common sense. And he also gave an example. Don't pair the short hop preset with the long hop preset. If you think of it, if you play a short half like 7 minutes, and you also include a long half preset which is more than 7 minutes, it will not work. It will contradict each other. All right. And he also said, make sure you read the text file or the README file for each preset to ensure that there are no clashes. As I said, that the short off preset and the long off preset, if you put both of them together, they will clash. So there are going to be problems. All right. And the mod manager order, I'll show you at the very end. Let's just focus on these things. The presets, I'm not gonna show you every one of those, but let's just take a look at this attack preset right here. All right. As the name suggests, it provokes attacking football. And if you read the README files here, he says that this preset is designed for those who want an extreme attacking experience. As I said, it provokes attacking football. And he also says the attack preset features the following options. Very aggressive FCIQ, that's a base. All right. Aggressive attack base, PA space plus adjusted defensive dynamics, that's also a base. Attacking boost V2, that's an option. Attacking run option extreme, that's an option. Less blocks option strong. Reduce defensive coverage, all that sort of stuff. All right. The preset attack, it provokes extremely attacking football. Nothing more, nothing less. The opposite of that is the methodical preset. If you go to the README file, this preset is designed for those who want to experience a methodical and slow build-up type of gameplay. And it includes the following bases and options. Methodical attack base, attacking run options mild, new CPU alternative 5, PA ball side plus compact, that's a base. PA methodical tactics option, that's an option. Calm option strong, shooting errors option subtle, reduce short option subtle. All right. Then there is this column here, or this sentence. You can disregard this totally and build your own, but I wanted to just provide you a helping hand for those who want a quick plug and play type option. The presets are just that. It's plug and play. All right. There is another popular preset, which is this one, Natural X Enhanced Difficulty preset. If you go to the README file here, by the way, it says Natural X Enhanced Difficulty, but it can be used with any standalones. All right. It can be used with any standalones. All right. As it says right here, this preset is fully compatible with any standalone. And the Natural X Enhanced Difficulty preset, it includes these options and bases. So the presets are there to get you started. You pick and choose your burger that you like or the standalone that you like. And then if you don't want to tinker with the options, these things, then you go to the preset options and pick from there. All right. If you want more attacking focused gameplay, get the attack. If you want slow passing build up, get the methodical. If you want to increase the difficulty, get the Natural X Enhanced Difficulty preset. If you want the game to be more compact and tight, through the middle, get the difficult preset, see what he included here. It says PA more pressing, methodical attack. All right. So you have to build from the back with short passes. And PA more pressing, that's a base, by the way. Methodical attack, that's also a base. And headers midpoint option, that's an option. All right. But it says in the difficult preset that it's built for players who want to raise the overall challenge of the game. As I said, it compresses or it compacts the pitch. All right. He says it right here. It compresses the space in both attack and in defense, making the gameplay tighter. So you have to play through the wings. You can't actually play through the middle. I have played the difficult preset, so I know how this works. It's very tough to play through the middle. All right. You have to have overlapping fullbacks, that sort of stuff. You have to attack through the white spaces. All right. So if you don't want to tinker with the options, then go for the presets. Or if you think that I don't like any of the presets, but I just really love my burger or my standalone, then just keep the standalone. It's fine. All right. When I was introduced to Anth's gameplay mod through FIFA, he had a free version, the V3 Lite. Now it's a V6 regular. It was a standalone, by the way, but I really, really, really loved it. It was only a standalone, but I loved it. Then I got the full gameplay package. All right. Now, if you think, okay, the preset options, it's fine, it's working, but I need to tweak up a few things. Then you can remove these presets, and if you want to tweak up a few things and get your preferred play style, then go to all options, and there are a bunch of options right here. All right. And let me pause right here and tell you the difference between bases, presets, and options. A preset is a set of bases and options. Presets equals bases plus options combined. All right. And a base is a foundation of an option. If I can translate that correctly, a base is a foundation of an option. If you look at something like this, FCIQ options, you can see that FCIQ bases. All right. New FCIQ aggressive, conservative, default, very aggressive. Here you can see FCIQ bases explained. As it says right here, your FCIQ base will impact the base positioning when on the ball. This dictates how advanced or defensive player roles focuses are. There are also key differences in each base relating to specific player role instructions. He gives an example. When using the very aggressive base, defensive midfielders outside of those with defensive focus will have more instructions for them to get forward during attacks. This is the same with the aggressive base, but just to a lesser extent. All right. A base is a foundation for an option. All right. So that's that. And as I said, the preset equals bases plus options combined. A preset is a summation of base and options. Okay. And a base is a foundation for a specific option. All right. So if you see right here, first things first, you have attacking options. In this folder, you can see there are two things: attacking bases, other attack options. All right. For example, you picked your burger or your standalone uh, natural X or fast and fluid, just like my one. I run the fast and fluid. So I picked my burger, the standalone, fast and fluid. I really loved it. I like to eat it every day, so I picked the fast and fluid standalone. But I want to increase the attacking tempo. All right. Then I can go for the preset attack preset if I want. I can go for that. As you can see here, as I said, the preset is a summation of some bases and some options. All right. But let's just say that I picked my burger or the standalone fast and fluid. I tried the attack preset, but I didn't like it because I found that my defenders were, or my midfielders were running way up high up the pitch. All right. As you can see, you have reduced defensive coverage strong plus increased CPU sliders V2, reduced defensive difficulty. You also have PS space plus adjusted defensive dynamics, aggressive attack base. All right. So it's provoking very high attacks. But let's just say that I put that attack preset in, but I didn't actually like it. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to all options, then find what suits or what do I need to uh, tailor fit my burger or standalone. All right. So first things first, let's just say, for example, I like the fast and fluid gameplay and movement, but I want a bit more increased attack. Not that explosive, but a bit more high tempo. So I go to attacking options. Please, disclaimer here. Please use common sense. All right. Please, please use common sense when you're applying options and bases. All right. So there are, when you go to attacking options, there are two things: attacking bases, other attack options. As I said, a base is a foundation for a certain option. So firstly, you have to go to the base. You have to lay the foundations first, then add the options later on. If you think of it like a building, the standalone is the foundation from the ground, and the bases are the pillars, and the options are the cements, the kind of cements, or the type of cements, or the type of steels, or that sort of stuff. All right. There are called options for a reason. Okay. So let's just say that I want a bit more attack oriented uh, gameplay than my burger, that is the standalone fast and fluid. If you check this explained column here, it says using these attacking bases still allow for all different tactical approaches. They just lean towards a particular direction. These bases have a big impact on overall attacking gameplay. All right. Then there is this thing. This is the order of the attacking tempo. The attacking bases are listed below from the least intense or the tempo to most intense. So you have your V 5.5 attack, which is an older version. Then you have the methodical, which is, of course, the term methodical. It means it's slow. You have balanced, which is best of both worlds. You have V6 attack. This time it's V7. The V6 attack, it says it's already built into the current standalone. So it's already built in to your burger or my burger, which is the fast and fluid. But as I said, I want to increase the attacking tempo of the game a bit more. Not that more, but a bit more. So what comes after that? It's this one, increased attack. So I have to choose increased attack because I want that tad bit attacking tempo, not the absolute bonkers one, the aggressive one. I want that one tad bit up tempo so that there are more goal scoring chances both from myself and from the CPU. All right. So that's the attacking base. And the options, you have these things. And you have to add, as I said, the base is a foundation and the option are pillars to, sorry, not pillars. The base is our pillar or a foundation for a certain option. In this case, it's an attacking base, so it will impact the attack options. All right. So there are a couple of things, which is alternative attacking run options, and it's explained right here. Using this option disables the decisive run mechanic in the game. Decisive runs are when players make direct and decisive attacking runs in the game. This can be potentially a little long and tricky. Give this option a try if you feel the game is a little too chaotic and if you want a little more structure and calm in your experience. Alright, so that's that. And this alternative attacking run option V2, it's the extreme version of this one. Alright, now the attacking boost. Explained. If you are looking for an extra edge in attack from the CPU, you might want to give these options a run. You have to understand which one is for you and which one is for the CPU. The attacking boost is for the CPU. These options can help improve CPU creativity. It actually does. I personally use this one, the most extreme one, the attacking boost V3. Excuse me. Alright. So, as I said, I want a bit more increased attacking tempo. So that was my base, increased attack. And as it's increased attack, use common sense here, guys. Please pair your options according to your bases or according to your standalone or according to the style of play you want to play. All right, so there's that. I personally run this one, which is the most extreme version. It's absolute bonkers. The CPU, you can't actually, if you are bad at defending, you will concede 7 or 8 goals. All right, so that's that. And attacking run frequency options. The name speaks for itself. There are a bunch of different ones. If you go to the explained column, you'll see the order. The below list shows the order of options from least runs to most runs. So there's minimal, there's very mild, there's default. By default, he's meaning the default vanilla game run frequency. All right, then there's reduced, there's balanced, And don't mix up balance with default. The default is on for the refers to the vanilla game values. The balanced is not a vanilla version. All right. V6, the one that's already built into the standalone. In this case, it's V7. Then there is strong, there is very strong, there's extreme, there's ultimate. I run the extreme. Why? Because I play a 3-5-2 formation built to counter with 100 high line. So as soon as I win the ball back, I want my players to be on their freaking bikes. That's why. I tried the ultimate, but it's way over the top. So I dialed it down and I got the extreme one. All right. You can try, and if you, as I said earlier, if you like your burger or your standalone by itself, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's broken, then try and fix it. And these options and bases are there to fix things. All right. Then there is compact attack option. By compact, you can actually visualize that you're gonna have less space. Use this option if you want to make the more CPU more compact and reactive in its attacking approach. If you're finding the CPUs positioning themselves too wide, then there is a good option to consider. So that's actually what this is referring to. This is tailored towards the CPU. If you are seeing the CPU is positioning themselves too wide on the pitch, then this is a good option. It's a good option for the CPU, all right, but it's a bad option for you. Why? Because if you use this option, the CPU will compact the pitch and you can't play through the middle. Use common sense here, guys. All right, don't just get any option and put them in your mod manager. Just don't. Read the readme files, read the explained files, all that good stuff. Anth has broken down everything in every detail possible. But as I said, I'm making this video because people actually don't read these readme files. All right, they don't. At least the majority of them don't in Anth's Discord server. No disrespect to the people that don't read the readme files, but it's suggested that the readme files are there for a reason, or the explained. These are here for a reason. All right. You have to go read all of this first before putting your mods in. All right. Other attack options, then there is of course momentum run options. Let's see what this is. I don't use it, so let's see what this is. Using these options will slow down the speed at which players will start to make their dragging runs. That sounds realistic to me actually. Because if you have played a real life football match, you start your run up slowly. Then, when momentum catches up, as Newton's first law says, you sprint high. All right. So there's that. For example, if you're playing with the increased attack base, just like I do, but you're finding defenders are making too many runs from deep, then using this option will help settle this down. It's actually realistic. It sounds realistic to me. And these options should only be used with the same selected attacking base, and they must be placed above the base. I'm going to talk about the mod order later. All right. If you have got the increased attack, use this one. If you have the aggressive attack, use this one. If you have the V6 attack or the standalone or your burger version, get this one. All right. So that's for the attacking bases. I'm just gonna show you two bases. All right. So sorry, not two, three bases. The next one is the most confusing one. It's this one, positioning options, positioning bases, and other positioning options. If you go to the positioning bases folder, you will see these things: PA, adjusted defensive dynamics, adjust defensive dynamics, MP, ball side, more pressing, compact, MP, defensive line drop, all sorts of stuff. But there is something here. B7, positional bases guide. The PA stands for positional alternative. If I just go to the PDF file over here, you can see that positional bases explained. Anth explained everything in full detail here. This positional base or the positional alternatives, this is the most confusing base in the mod. The attack base, it's straightforward. The FCIQ base, you don't have to tinker with that one at all. It's already built into the standalone. You don't have to tinker with that one at all. At least in my opinion. All right. I don't have any FCIQ bases in my mod manager. I only have options. So that's that. He says you can only use one of these bases at a time. All right. You can only use one base. I have seen many people using 3, 4 bases. All right. And there is something called combinations. And what does this thing actually do is that he combines these elements into a single mod, as you can see right here. You have a PA ball side, you have PA ball side more pressing, and if you go to the combinations folder, you'll see you have PA ball side plus added defensive. I forgot what that one was, but added defensive dynamics actually. Sorry. Yeah, short form explained. As I said, PS stands for positioning alternative. BS, that's BA, BS actually. So that's ball side. So easier, extreme ball side, extra compact, more pressing, space, increased midfield pressure, narrow defensive line, compact, narrow attack, adjusted defensive dynamics, defensive line drop. Yep. All right. It's explained in every detail possible in the PDF. All right. And the combinations, as you can't use one more than one positional basis, he went up a notch and gave you 168 combinations. As you can see, here you have PA ball side, increased midfield pressure, and defensive line drop with more pressing. So that's 4 positioning alternative bases in one. All right. Now you might ask, what is positioning alternative? Simply explained, a positioning alternative or the PA, it actually means how the players position themselves in the pitch and how they play. For example, I use the PA ball side. because it's in my mind it's the most realistic one. The ball side, PA ball side, what it actually does is, for example, the play is going through the right hand side. You will see if you use the PA ball side, then the majority of the players from the CPU and your own will switch to the right hand side because the play is going through the right hand side. All right. If you watch real life football, it's actually just like that. When the play is going through the right hand side, the majority of the players go to that side in a general football match. All right. And if the play is going through the left hand side, then the majority of the players come to the left hand side, with some of them remaining on the other side to cover up spaces. All right. Then there is compact. The name speaks for itself. PA compact, as you can see, ball side. This is a unique positioning option that results in the defensive team moving to cover space more on the ball side of the pitch, as I said. That the majority of the players, when the ball is going through the right hand side, they will move to the right, keeping the other players on the opposite side to cover the other space. There is an element of this already included in the standalone, but this option creates a more extreme version of it. All right. This creates a compact midfield game with some very interesting and fresh dynamics. Absolutely. And as I said, the PA compact, this base creates significantly more narrow and condensed spacing all over the pitch. You have to play out wide. You can't play through the middle. It's pretty hard. All right. So all these things, adjusted defensive dynamics, please read these PDFs and know what suits you best. As I said, I have found my combination, by the way, my mod combination, it took me 3 months to make or to perfect. I had to read every PDF, I had to try every option, I had to try every basis, and I had to read every readme files. All right. As it says right here, important. If you want to combine any of these bases, then you need to select from the combinations you'd like in the combinations folder. As I said earlier, that you can't use these individual ones more than one. If you're using the PA ball side only, you cannot use PA compact. In order to use both PA ball side and compact, you have to go to the combinations folder and you have to get this one, PA ball side plus compact. That's what this note says right here. You need to select from the combination you would like in the combinations folder. And some namings are actually, they speak for itself. Increased midfield pressure. All right. So the midfield pressure, in my mind, please use common sense here. Or if you are confused, get this positional basis guide and read it. All right. Increased midfield pressure, that means that players will try and close down the CPU from the midfield. If you go right here, increased midfield pressure, where is it? As you can see, there is more pressing. This base is a slight variant from the current standalone. Just as the name suggests, this includes one difference, a more aggressive pressing system. So if your tactical preset is gegenpressing, you can get this one. If you want more pressing variant of any of the above positional bases, just select the correct combination. All right. Then this one is actually very popular, the PS space. This base is for those who want that bit of extra room to play in. It actually opens up the pitch. PA easier. PA, I'm referring to positioning alternative. There are certain values within the positioning files that impact particular types of marking, organization, and difficulty. The easier variant of positioning is a reduction of these values compared to what you will find in the standalone. Using this easier option makes it a little bit easier to beat a defender. As I said, guys, the name speaks for itself. All right, increased midfield pressure. This is for those who want the midfield line to pressure that extra bit higher up the pitch. As I said, when the ball is being played out from the back, for example, or even in transition, the midfield line will now position themselves higher to create an extra layer of resistance. So you're actually creating a mid block. All right, you're actually creating a mid block. Narrow defensive line speaks for itself. If you're playing a four back but you want your defensive line or your four at the back formation more compact, then get this one. This base narrows the defensive line across a number of different positional contexts to create balance in every scenario. All right. Anth recommends using this base if you're finding the defensive line is too wide or you're looking for a slower type of gameplay experience with less overall shots and goals. Tailor what suits you best. All right. Extreme ball side plus extra compact. Extreme ball side. Yeah, this is actually not that much of a realistic as I found out, but you can give it a try. You can give every one of these a try. Find what suits you best, then pick that one. Or if you think that you like two or three, maybe, then go to the combinations folder. Then there is a lot of combinations. All right. There are a lot of combinations. There are one, two, three, four. Four combinations, one, two, three, four, five combinations. All right. But make sure you understand what EBS means, what EC means, EC extra compact, ADD adjusted defensive dynamics. So that sort of stuff. You have to read this positional basis guide. All right. In order to understand what DLD means. So DLD actually means defensive line drop. IMP, that's increased midfield pressure. MP, that's more pressing, that sort of stuff. All right. So I play the PA ball side, nothing more, nothing less. All right. And now for the positioning options. There is defensive line enhancements and there is positioning extras. All right. I don't actually use any of these to be honest, but just for the tutorial, uh, I'm explaining this. If you go to other position from positioning options to other positioning options, you just for example you picked the PA ball side, all right, or you have picked the defensive line drop, something like that. Then you go to other positioning options, you have defensive line enhancements. So you have defensive line drop enhancement, all right, defensive line drop, the name speak for itself. Your defensive line or your high line will drop. All right. Defensive line hold enhancement. The defensive line or your back four will hold. They'll not drop back. All right. DLD enhancement strong, DLD enhancement subtle. Defensive line drop enhancement. This one strong, meaning the strong one is a stronger version of this one. Defensive line drop enhancement subtle, meaning that this one, this one is a subtle version of this one, a bit laid back, if you know what I mean. Let's go to this README file explained. If you are wanting the defensive line to drop more than it does in the standalone, the first place you should look at is the positioning alternative defensive line drop option. All right, as I said, it's this thing. You have to set your bases correct, otherwise it will cause issues. All right, if you are going for the defensive line drop, you have to use a base called defensive line drop. All right, let's go to the readme again or explained. However, if you are wanting to control this even further, consider using these options with the positioning base. By the positioning base, he's meaning the positioning alternative PA, defensive line drop. And he says, again, these options can be paired with any of the positioning bases. So you can pair this up with the PA ball side, PA more pressing, everything. All right. These are called options for a reason. You are just layering things on top of each other, on top of a foundation or your base. All right. So that's that. Please remember that your tactics will impact this behavior also. Absolutely. And by tactics, he's meaning the in game tactics. All right. So that's that. So, as I said, defensive line drop enhancement, these will work with any positioning bases, as he says, these things or any combinations. All right. You can choose your options. Try different things. As I said, it took me 3 months to make my preferred or perfect combination. All right. And then you have positioning extras. There is narrow attack option strong, there is narrow attack option subtle. There is narrow CB option off the ball, mild, moderate, strong, very mild. These names, they speak for themselves. Please use common sense here. Wider defense option, wider CB option on ball, moderate, mild, strong. This wider CB option on ball, strong, moderate, mild, or wider defense option, strong, subtle. These are, I can tell just by the name that these wider CB options or wider defense options are actually specifically designed for three at the back formations. And this narrow CB option, these are designed, or the narrow defense options, these are designed specifically for 4 or 5 at the back formations. All right. So that's that. So you have these ones for your 4-2-3 ones, your 5-2-3s, that sort of stuff. And you have these ones for your 3-5-2s, your 3-4-1-2s, your 3-1-4-2s, and your 3 2 4-1-2, that sort of stuff. 3 at the back. So that's that. So let's get the explained going. These options simply allow you to make some additional adjustment and tweak the positioning side of the game. Unlike the positioning bases, these extras can be used with the positional bases. You can use these with the PA, these, and these. All right. So that's for the positional bases. All right. I'm now just gonna show you another base, which is this one, FCIQ base. Here is a README file again, bases versus refinements. FCIQ basis impacts every player role and has a major impact on your overall gameplay experience. Refinements. These are individual adjustments only if you want to tweak certain changes within your existing FCIQ base. Balanced refinements, what does that mean? Alternative adjustment to the FCIQ base that is already built into the standalone or your burger. Aggressive refinements, alternative adjustments to the FCIQ aggressive base. Alright, in my opinion, uh, I don't actually use and I don't recommend using any of the FCIQ bases. The burger or the standalone, I'm referring the burger a lot, but the burger FCIQ, as you can see here, FCIQ balanced, integrated into the standalone or your burger, it's actually fine. You don't need to add these bases, but if you want to, you can do that. All right. So the FCIQ bases, this is the order of them from most defensive to most attacking. So you have default, you have conservative, you have balanced, which is of course built in to your burger or your standalone. Then you have aggressive, then you have very aggressive. All right. Your FCIQ base will impact the base positioning when on the wall. This dictates how advanced or defensive player roles focus are. There are also key differences in each base relating to specific player role instructions. For example, when using very aggressive base, defensive midfielders will have more instructions for them to get forward during attacks. Alright. I don't actually recommend using any of the FCIQ bases. Alright. The ones that are built in to the standalone, they're actually fine. Alright. They're pretty fine. What you can do is you can add these options. All right. Defend alternatives always is, for example, there is this thing called FCIQ cam attack no defend. If you want your playmakers who are on attack focus to not come back and defend, go for this one. FCIQ cam PM stands for playmaker roaming balanced. All right. So you have the option to keep your roaming playmaker with a balanced focus so he can come back and defend. Then you have FCIQ strikers with an attack focus defend, meaning that your striker will come back to defend. FCIQ wide attack no defend, your wingers will not come back and defend. Wide attack meaning the wide midfielders actually, the LM, the RM, and the wingers meaning left wing and right wing. So these two are the same thing, but it's I think for yeah, as well as WG with the attack focus. Yeah, this wide attack. This is for left mids and right mids, and this wingers attack no defend. It's for left wingers and right wingers. So if you get this one, your left mid and right mid will not come back and defend, and in this one, your wingers will not come back and defend. Who has an attack focus? All right. If they have balance focus, they will come back and defend. If they have an attack focus, they won't come back and defend if you choose this option right here. All right. Then there is refinements. There is aggressive, there is balanced. All right. This FCIQ aggressive refinements, it's made for the FCIQ aggressive base. All right. But as you can see in the README file, these options are designed to provide refinements and tweak your FCIQ aggressive base. The changes impacts the on ball positioning only. Again, these are just some additional alternatives that is included in the FCIQ aggressive base. Once more, it is extremely important to understand that these options are not required to see changes in FCIQ in my standalone mode. They are alternatives to what is provided in there. Alright. So, for example, if you're using the FCIQ aggressive base, then as it said, if you remember, FCIQ aggressive. When selecting aggressive, you will see defenders and midfielders position themselves farther up the pitch as their best positioning during attacks. Alright, so defenders and midfielders will push up very high. So, in order to counter that, you can go to the refinements, aggressive refinements, and then you can see these options right here. CDM center half defend higher. Alright, CDM center half. Center half, that's the role. Defend, that's the focus. Higher, that's the positioning. Alright. Same with these things. Deep line playmaker build up deeper. Deep line playmaker defend deeper. Only use this if you are using the FCIQ aggressive base. Alright. Deep line playmaker on roaming slightly deeper, holding ball winning. You also have center mids box to box deeper, center mids deep line playmaker with a defend deeper, center mids holding with a defend focus on deeper. You also have a false nine deeper. Alright, but please use common sense and please use what makes sense and what fits your style of play. All right, that's very important. The style of play that you're going for. All right, so and please read the README files. They are there for a reason. All right, and in every folder there is a README file. All right, as you can see, CDM holding ball winning slightly deeper. If you go to the README file, use this if you want to slightly reduce how high the CDM holding ball winning player role will advance during an attack. It's all there, guys. It's all there. You just have to have the patience to read these files. As I said in the beginning, people get confused because they don't read these files. Alright, but if you have read these files, the Anth James Gameplay Mod is actually very easy to use. And balanced refinements, if you are using a FCIQ balanced, these options are designed to provide refinements and tweaks to your FCIQ balance base. That's already included in the standalone. The changes impact the on-ball positioning only. Again, these are just some additional alternatives to what is included in the FCIQ balanced base. It is extremely important to understand these options are not required to see changes in FCIQ in my standalone mode. There are alternatives to what is provided in there. Alright. So if you choose the FCIQ balanced base, you don't have to choose that actually. It's already built in to the standalone. Alright. So you have a higher, but if you don't like what's built into the standalone, then you can go for these options right here. Higher center mid, deep lying playmaker with a build up, higher center mid holding ball winning, higher DM, deep lying playmaker, build up, these sort of things. Alright. Deeper fullbacks, if you want your fullbacks to be more deep, that sort of stuff. Please read these readme files. I'm saying this time and time again. Please read these readme files. All right. So that's that. These three are the main or the bases that the majority of the people who use this mod uses. All right. Then The other options, you have ball control and touch options. These, when you go to the folder, there is always a readme file. Difficult ball control option. The name speaks for itself. Difficult ball control option stronger. This is a stronger version of this one. Reduced dribble and touch error option. When you're dribbling and your first touch errors or your dribbling errors will be reduced. Touch error alternative default, touch error alternative strong, touch error alternative subtle. There is a readme file for all of this. Alright. The order of strength in terms of touch error goes like this: touch error default, least amount of errors; touch error subtle, touch error built into the standalone; and touch error strong, most amount of overall errors. Anth included all these options to tailor fit your gameplay. But in my mind, the standalone versions or your burger has already been built from the ground up, and these options, some of them, have been included in the standalones. Alright, not some of them, actually all of them, just in a different sense. If you see this difficult ball control option here, use this option if you want to create an environment where it's more difficult to control and keep control of the ball. This can create a nice fight for the ball with some unpredictable behavior. It's still based on stats, but is also applied to all players in a scaled way. Give it a try and see if it's for you. Alright. But it says you cannot use this in combination with either the trap option or any of the touch error options. Alright. The trap option, I don't use this one, but I think it's related to tackles or winning the ball back from the CPU players if they are lower rated. Yeah, this potentially can increase your ability to steal the ball from an opponent at times, especially against lower rated players. Yeah, that's what I was saying actually. If you find this is happening too often for your liking, remove it. Yeah. Ball physics options, alternative ball physics option. Uh, Use this if you want to see some extra whip and curve to crosses and finish shot, creating more dynamic ball movement, designed to enhance the feel and variety of striking without making shots or passes feel unrealistic. Alright. The alternative ball physics option, subtle. This one is a strong version, this one is a subtle version of this one. So if you don't like your standalone's ball physics, then you can pick this one. Or if you find this one is too strong, then pick this one. Ball physics option larger ball, it means the football size. Alright. I use this one actually, it looks realistic. Ball physics option more curved. Ball physics option more curved, meaning that when you whip across or when you put a through lob, there will be more curve. When you're putting in a free kick, a direct free kick, then it will go more curve. There is more curve V2, which is extreme version of this one. More curve with large ball combined. Yeah. So it combines this one and this one together. Slightly smaller ball than the default ball. Ball physics option smaller ball, smaller than the default ball in game. Default ball physics option, use this option if you want to revert back to the default FC25 ball physics. So that's if you love the vanilla ball physics, then go for this one. Alright. Blocks and interceptions options. Yeah. More blocks, less blocks, default blocks. By the way, the default, as I said, the default is for tailored to vanilla FC25 values. All right. CPU options you have new. These are unpredictable actually. These options impact a number of different areas around CPU decision making. They're designed based on specific player traits and help create more player differentiation and patterns in your gameplay experience. They have a big impact on overall behavior and can impact how fast or slow the gameplay feels as well due to the speed of decision making. For example, if you want a more challenging experience, a different CPU option can help you achieve this. I personally use the CPU alternative 3. The 4, a lot of people use that. The 1, a lot of people use that. If you love the vanilla one, go for the default. CPU 5, it says more cautious, meaning that they will take more time on their wall. They will not pass unless that's a 100% pass completion, that sort of stuff. All right. But give these options a try, and you will see that the CPU is actually very high IQ, if you know what I mean. Very unpredictable. All four of them have very distinctive characteristics. I tried all four, and I picked the number 3 because I found it the most challenging one with my standalone. And then defensive options, you have aggressive step up. Your defenders will step up aggressively. Aggressive step up option, extreme, more aggressively step up to stop the attacker. The strong, the contain, less intense. Contain meaning the defenders containing the attackers. Defensive difficulty options, you have increased CPU defensive difficulty, you have increased defensive difficulty option, reduced defensive difficulty option. You have a lot of options, man. These options are larger in that they draw from a range of various areas to bring down or increase the defensive difficulty. This can be used with any of the other defensive options. Increased CPU defensive difficulty. This option makes defending against the CPU more challenging. As I said, most of the times the name speaks for itself. Alright, you just have to read the readme files. Jockey options, faster jockey, slower jockey, default, the vanilla jockey, less pressing. Yeah, name speaks for itself. Your players will press less. Marking options, there is looser, there is tighter. I use the looser one because I don't want my players to man mark tightly. Use this option if you want players to get even tighter to players receiving the ball than what you find in the standalone. I don't use the tighter one, I use the looser one because it makes uh, me or gives me time to think before making a tackle. Use this option if you want players from the defensive team to get less tight to players receiving the ball than what you find in the standalone. Alright. To be clear, this is different from pressing tightness. This is more of a general value that is not related to tactics at all. So it's not related to pressing. It's man marking actually. Alright. Reduced CPU tackle aggression option. Name speaks for itself again. The CPU tackle aggression, yeah, it's going to be dialed down. Reduce defensive coverage options. Yeah, I use this one actually. I use the subtle one. Reduce defensive coverage option subtle. Use this if you want the off the ball team to provide slightly less defensive coverage than what you find in the standalone. Using this option will open up the gameplay just a little bit more as there will be more space between the lines. Yep, I use this one. The strong one, it's wide open. Alright. And the regular one, use this option if you want the off ball team to provide less defensive coverage. You don't want that. You're gonna concede a lot of goals. Tackling options, yeah, tackle default options. If you like the vanilla game version, try the default. Tackle more intense. I tried that. It's if you are playing with a very physical center back and you put a slide tackle in, if you are playing or if you are controlling somebody like Stefan De Vrij or Bastoni or Elbisek from Inter, and you are putting a tackle slide tackle going double footed with uh, Florian Wirtz, who is very short. So this more intense option, you will see that he will go flying in with the slide tackle. Tackle range option. Use this option if you want to create some more differentiation in tackling based on ability. Yep. This should create even more individuality and variety in regarding to tackling. So what this does is the players who have better tackling stats or tackling play styles, they will get more. They will get better at tackling, and the ones who don't have the tackles, the stand tackle or slide tackle stats, it this tackle range option it's actually related to stats and play styles. Nothing more, nothing less. Tactical defensive line options, aggressive line behavior option, deep line behavior option, default tactic option, high line aggression option. Yeah, these options allow you to select specific defensive line behavior that you find in your tactic screen and apply them more broadly in your gameplay. For example, if you want all teams to adopt the aggressive or defensive line behavior that is typically only activated when selecting a defensive line height of 90 or above, then you can use the aggressive line behavior option. This is actually this one. This is actually unrealistic. All the teams don't play with 90 plus highlines or 100 highlines. All right. So highline aggression option, see that in your tactics, if you set your defensive line to high, everything from this point and above will give you the aggressive defensive line mentality that is only achieved from selecting the aggressive defensive line. If you like the closing down aggressive nature of the defensive teams with a high line and above, then this option allows you to see this behavior more frequently. Yeah, he's saying that if you set your defensive line to high and everything from this point and above, the defensive line high that's actually above 60. So from 60 to 100 will give you the aggressive defensive line mentality, not the high line. That is typically only achieved from selecting the aggressive defensive line. Yeah. If you would like the closing down aggressive nature of the defensive teams with a high line and above, then this option allows you to see this behavior more frequently. I don't use these options at all, but yeah, I don't need that actually. The standalone one is fine. There are goalkeeper options as well, default goalkeeper option, difficult goalkeeper option. So that's you're gonna struggle to score goals against goalkeepers with one-on-ones. Extremely weak goalkeeper option, goalkeeper boost option, very difficult goalkeeper option, very weak goalkeeper option, weaker goalkeeper option. I don't need to dive into any of that. The names speak for themselves, guys. All right. So that's that. Header options. And actually fixed the headers. EA nerfed the headers, but he fixed it. So headers do work now. But there has been a debate that he fixed the headers, but every header goes in. All right. So he added this midpoint option. All right. This option creates a balanced middle ground between the more difficult headers and the improved headers built into the standalone. The standalone headers, they are actually pretty good, but there was a concern that it was way too overpowered. So in this version, he added this midpoint option and more difficult option, which was the V6 one. That was actually pretty tough, but it you could score with this one, but it's actually very tough. The midpoint option, it's a balance between the standalone one and the more difficult one. In this one, you have to time your power and direction right. That's it. Movement options, yeah. Increased player friction option. Player friction option, this means that, yeah, more resistance when turning and accelerating, which can help a heavier, more grounded feel to movement. Yep. Player friction, that's friction between the player's feet and the grass. All right. So when you're turning and dribbling, you will feel with your controller or with your keyboard that your players are feeling heavy. So that's that. This is a stronger version of this. The inertia series, it's new actually, explained right here, but you don't actually need to uh, go bonkers with this inertia series. But if you want to explore this stuff, there is a table right here. All right, and there are the names, which is of course this one, agile, core, core plus, that one, ultra responsive, turning feel, ultra snappy, fluid, inertia level very minimal, responsiveness extremely high, ideal for high tempo gameplay, responsive, snappy and quick, slightly grounded, minimal, very high, fast responsive, extra fast and fluid. Extra fast, by extra fast and fluid, it's included in the extra fast and fluid standalone or your extra fast and fluid burger. Agile, yeah, tight turn, smooth and quick, fast and fluid, yeah, it's built into my standalone, which is the fast and fluid. And yeah, if you, for example, if I am using the fast and fluid, but I want more responsiveness or ultra snappy fluid turning feel, then I can go for the ultra responsive, if you know what I mean. The agile one, yeah, it's fine. I like it. I love it actually. The responsiveness high, yeah, fine with that one. Inertia level minimal, fine with that. Fine with that one as well. But if I want a more snappy or fluid feel, turning feel with an extremely high responsiveness, then I have to get the ultra responsive one paired up with my fast and fluid. Okay, so that's that. The inertia series is brand new, so there's that. V6 movement options, yeah. Readme, yeah, these are old actually. All right, as you can see, it says old. V6, these are also old. Walk speed options. Uh, Walk speed, that means that the speed of the players when they are walking. All right. So he says, for example, if you're using the regular version but you want a slower walk speed, then you must use the slower walk speed option or slower walk speed option, regular movement base. Another example, if you're using the V2, by V2 he's meaning the standalone. If you're using the V2 slow version but you want an increased walk speed, then you must pair it with increased walk speed option, slow movement base. All right, increased, slower, fast base movement, regular. Fast base, that's a standalone actually. I run the fast and fluid, so if I want a slower walk option, I have to get this one. If you're running the regular standalone, you have to get this one. If you want, if you're running the slower standalone, then you have to get this one. Same thing with increased as well. You have a fast base, you have a regular base, you have a slow base. If you're running a fast standalone, you have to get this. If you're running the regular, you have to get this. If you're running the slow, you have to get this. Also, there is a README file. Remember, if you use this, then pair it with the standalone version that you're using, as I just said right now. So that's that. Other options, uh, attributes alternative. This one. Changes to specific attributes based on certain positions. These changes have been made for very particular reasons, but this option exists to let you revert those changes back to how they were before the standalone or V5. Don't use this one actually. If you're not sure, he says, I don't recommend this. And says, boost option. Yeah, this option globally increases dribbling, ball control, passing, vision for all players to varying levels of degree. Name speaks for itself. Boost option plus to increased aggression. Yep. This option builds on the original boost option, enhancing dribbling, ball control, passing, vision for all players, while also introducing a significant boost to defensive aggression. Or your defenders will be more uh, aggressive. The result is a way more intensive experience where the CPU presses harder, attacks more directly, and raises the overall difficulty in a dynamic way. If you use this with the increased CPU defensive difficulty option, then you must place this option below that option. Alright, please read these readme files. Calm option. This option just settles the CPU when on the ball a little more, ensuring they take more time before releasing the ball. Yeah. It's a good option for those who want a slower style of gameplay. It's all in there. It's all in the readme files. Default splash screen. If you don't want Anth splash screen on your when the game loads up, you can get this option as well. Dribble aggression option. Yeah. Natural X and Natural X Plus uses some specific values among dribble aggression. This option reverts these back to the same values used in the other V7 standalone options. Alright. Dual aggression. This one, if you are playing Natural X or Natural X Plus, and if you are finding it difficult to dribble, then go for this option. Dribbling errors speaks for itself. Yeah. This option is based around attributes and will introduce more errors while dribbling. Dynamic positioning. Yeah. This one I really like it. Dynamic positioning, what it actually means is if you're running with your center back into the midfield, your CDM will come back to his spot. Alright, no position will be vacant. Or if your center back, or if your winger is cutting inside, then if you're playing a two striker formation, the other striker will go out wide to fill his space. So that's the dynamic positioning option. Field friction option, yeah, the name speaks for itself as well. Field friction, that means the friction between the grass and the players. Use this if you want the field to feel a little more grounded. The ball will bubble more and the players can feel more stable. This is a strong version, so the friction is increased even further when using the subtle variant. I don't actually use this at all. I really like what's built into the standalone, so there's that. Increased ball freedom option. Use this option if you want to increase the freedom and separation of the ball from the player. This option may slightly decrease the fluidity of dribbling and potentially can have a minor impact on passing speed. Yeah, you can have that if you want to have a challenge, but I don't use that. Increased sliders, CPU slider range option. These are in-game CPU sliders, so this impacts the CPU slider range only. I built my mod and says I build my mod with the CPU sliders on custom and everything on 50/50. This is what I recommend using, but for those who want to tinker with the CPU slider, this option is for you. This option greatly increases the scope for the CPU sliders. Use this option if you want to see a greater minimum and maximum level for the following sliders: tackle aggression, build up speed, shot frequency, fastest pass frequency, crossing frequency, dribble frequency, skill move frequency. Changing to 51, for example, will now have a much greater impact than when using the CPU sliders without this option. Yeah. If you want to tinker with the CPU sliders, I keep it on 50/50. But if you want to tinker with it, then go for it. The range, it means that, as he said here, that if you change the value from 50 to 51, you will have a much greater impact, all right, than in the vanilla game. These and these are the same. The V2 is the stronger version of this. Injuries option, yeah. Use this option if you want to increase the rate at which the injuries occur. You don't actually need this. Kickoff option. This is a slightly experimental option designed to reduce the frequency of easy goals scored directly from kickoff, which is an EA legacy issue. Yeah, this is a slightly experimental option designed to reduce the frequency of easy goals scored directly from kickoff, which is an EA legacy issue. Yeah, it's the kickoff glitch. So if you want to get rid of that, get this option in. Then there is reduced defensive coverage strong plus increasive sliders V2, reduced defensive coverage subtle, reduced free kick error option. I have increased the error on the free kicks for both user and the CPU in V7. Use this option if you want to revert back to the changes back to how they were there in V6. This will improve precision on free kicks by reducing randomness and error. Alright. If you want your free kick errors reduced, get this option. Reduced pass delay. This option speeds up CPU passing responsiveness, reducing hesitation, and making the ball move at a faster tempo. Alright. This is for the CPU, by the way, not for the user. This one, reduce pass delay option strong. This is an extreme version of this one. Sprint risk option. I think it means that when you are sprinting, you will lose control of the ball. This option increases the rate of risk of losing control of the ball when sprinting. Yep. Use common sense. The names speaks for themselves. Team differences, experimental. Yeah. When using tactical and dynamic CPU options, I have made changes to encourage more diversified and varied gameplay experience. This should result in teams having a stronger sense of identity. If you choose to use the tactical or dynamic, then let me know how you find this option. But uh, I don't use this one, not this one actually. The team difference option, I don't actually use these. But if you want, if you are playing on the tactical or dynamic CPU options, not the custom, then give it a try, see how it goes. All right. Trajectory option, yeah, it's related to the ball. Use this option if you want to create some really unpredictable battles and outcomes in aerial duels. Yep. It's related to the ball trajectory. If there is a goal kick, then the ball can end up in different places. Or in aerial duels, you can win the ball back, or you can win the header, but the header won't might necessarily not go to your teammate, it will go to the CPU player. So that's that. I use this option and it's actually pretty good. So that's that. Pass error options, yep, strong, subtle. Everything is explained. All right. Pass mechanics. You don't need to use these ones. The standalone ones are fine. Pass speed options, pass speed extras, and isolations. All right. Extra fast, extra slow, fast, regular, slow. Let's look at the explain. When you select V6 slow or the standalone slow, this already includes slow passing. For example, what he means here is I'm using the fast and fluid. If I want more extra fast passing, then I have to get this one, extra fast isolation. Or if I'm using a standalone which is slow, but I want my passing speed to be a bit fast, then I have to get this one. And if I like the vanilla game passing speed, then I have to get this one. All right. But this, I tried this one. This doesn't actually look good on the eyes or when you're playing actually. pass speed extras. Yeah, there are some things actually. So there is a faster crossing options, faster crossing option V2. Then there is slower crossing option, and there is this legacy crossing option. If you prefer V5, yeah, this is an older one. I use the slower crossing option because my as I play a three back system, my white players they're pretty fast, and my two strikers they are generally behind my white players. So the slow crossing option enables me to cross the ball slower so that the striker can put their head in to the ball. And if you want a faster crossing option, you can get this one. And the V2 is the extreme version of this one. All right. Perception options. Okay. Nothing more, nothing less. It's CPU IQ. I use this one, the Elite. Higher perception levels improve player awareness, anticipation, and decision making, especially for the CPU. All right. So it's designed especially for the CPU. I use this one, increase perception option Elite, and yeah, you can see when you use these options that it's actually bonkers what the CPU does. All right. An elite level of spatial and situational awareness. Players react instantly, anticipate threats early, and make decisions with exceptional sharpness. This version emphasizes intelligence positioning, quick reads, and confident play under pressure. Yep. If you are facing a club like Real Madrid, you'll struggle to score goals. You'll struggle to defend. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, all those guys. Yeah. You'll see runs being made out of nowhere. So that's that. And you'll see passes that you have never seen before. So that's the perception option is actually a football IQ. Physicality and balance options, yeah, I use this one. Increased collision intensity option. It's actually realistic because if you are very physical, uh, somebody like Milenkovic from Nottingham Forest, he's a physical defender. When he collides with somebody like Amad Diallo, or if Milenkovic collides with somebody like Bukayo Saka, then uh, you know what's gonna happen. Milenkovic is 6'5" or 6'4". Bukayo Saka, he's a winger, so he's increased collision intensity. That's when you get a shoulder barge, you will not receive a foul, but the player, the collision, it actually pushes the little guy away. That's what this option does. Physicality alternative, if you don't like the one built into the standalone, then get this one. Tuned for more chaotic and competitive ball battles, this option increases loose balls, scrambles, and shoulder to shoulder duels, making fights for possession feels more dynamic and unpredictable. Alright. And the physicality alternative V2, it's the extreme version of the physicality alternative. Alright. Increased balance option. Use this option if you want your dribblers to have more resistance when they've been tackled. So what this one does is it enables your dribblers uh, when they are under pressure from defenders, or when they are being tackled. If you are using somebody like Usman Dembele or Bradley Barcola, or even somebody like Vinicius or Rodrigo, all those guys, they will have a very good balance uh, when getting tackled. All right. This option has more dribbler resistance than what you'll find in other options relating to balance. This will obviously impact fouls and physicality. Absolutely. Because uh, when you're dribbling with the ball, the balance option it enables to it enables your dribblers to have more resistance. But if there is if you are facing Antonio Rudiger one on one and you are trying to dribble past him, that then this note says right here, this will obviously impact fouls and physicality. Yeah, if you are trying to dribble past a guy like Antonio Rudiger, then you're gonna have some problems with physicality and fouls. But it's a good option if you like dribbling. Default FC25 physicality option. If you liked the vanilla version, get that one. Balance default option. Yeah, this option reverts all areas relating to balance back to the default FC25 values. Yep. It's for balance and this one is for physicality. Referee and fouls option, default referee option, important note on referee options. Changing the referee settings will directly affect how fouls are called in gameplay. The foul balance in the standalone has been carefully tuned to support realistic and challenging playmaking, pressing, tackling, and risky defending actions more difficult and rewarding. If you switch to other referee options, you may reduce the difficulty of executing certain fouls such as aggressive tackles or pressure-based fouls. This can lead to a more forgiving experience, but it may also undermine the intended balance of risk and consequences in the gameplay. Please keep this in mind when applying referee changes, as they can significantly impact the overall feel and fairness of the physical play. So, I use this alternative referee option uh, because it calls for less fouls but gives more accurate fouls. Use this option if you don't like the changes in the standalone and you want an option that is slightly less extreme. This results in less overall fouls but more accurate fouls. It's a I come from the 90s, so it's that era of refereeing. You are getting shoulder charged and bullied by everybody, but the referee doesn't call for a foul. There is rarely a red card given unless it's a one-on-one with a defender. Then this option comes to play. All right. Shooting error option speaks for itself. CPU shooting errors, shooting error. CPU shooting errors. This is tailored towards the CPU. These ones are tailored towards the user. All right. Please you read the README files for more clarification. Short speed options. Yeah, I use the subtle version. A much slower short speed may reduce the perceived threat level of shooting, causing the CPU to hesitate or favor other options. This is not guaranteed to harm gameplay, but it's something to keep in mind if you notice fewer CPU short attempts. In most setups, the CPU will continue to shoot, just potentially with different timing or confidence depending on the speed tuning. Yeah, the subtle this one is actually a bit slow. It doesn't look good with my standalone, but the subtle one, it actually looks good and it fits with my standalone. So I use this one. Tactics option, yeah, methodical tactics. It's getting way longer, but yeah. These options impact the way the game reads all the different tactical approaches. Yeah, I don't use any tactics option. I always build the tactics option that my tactics in game. So that's that. Short ups tactic. Yeah, I don't actually use those. But if you're playing on short hubs, then this uh, might lean to a particular style of gameplay. Short hubs, it's less than 7 minutes, and long hubs, it's uh, more than 7 minutes. So if you're playing something like Natural X Plus, it's better to start with 7 minute halves. All right, short of tactics. Yeah, the tactics options. These options impact the way the game reads on all different tactical approaches and adjust them according to many different gameplay styles. I don't actually recommend using any of these, but you can give it a go, see what happens. test option, this one is actually pretty good. This is an option that is only needed if you want to make sure your gameplay mods or Anth mods are working. If you see this clip here, if you see this big ball on the pitch, then you will know that the mod is working. So that's the huge ball test option. Transition options, yep, absolutely. These options relate how quickly or slowly teams transition from attack to defense. I'm a counter attacking player, so usually I go for this one. Alright, I run this one actually. Use this option if you want teams to transition from attack to defense or defense to attack faster than they do in the standalone. Yep, I use this one. So when you win the ball back in your own half, your players are on their bikes running at full pace. And when you lose the ball back high up the pitch to the CPU, your players are returning back to your own half in full pace. So there's the transition option faster, the opposite is the slower, and the V4 is a legacy one. It's an old version. So that's that. So these were all the options. All right. Now then, let's close this and open our mod manager. And first things first, I said the mod order should be, as you guys all know, the mod manager, the priority, it says the mod at the bottom has the highest priority. So it's low to high. All right. These are all options, by the way. All right. I'm just going to show you the standalone, the base, and the options. All right. So first things first, you have to start off with a standalone. All right. The standalone has to have the highest priority. All right. And then, as I said, I use the PA ball site. It's a base. The base should be above the standalone. All right. Any base. If you had an FCIQ base, then it would have been above the standalone. All right. And I have another base which is increased attack. So I also put it, both of these bases above the standalone. And if you were using a preset like an attack preset, then you also have to put it above the standalone. All right. If I was to use the methodical preset, I would have put it just above PA ball side. Or if I was to put the natural X enhanced difficulty preset, I would have put it above the PA ball side or the increased attack. All right. And this, I said, the bases are tailored to certain options. And this attacking run options extreme, this option is tailored towards this base. So you have to put it above this base. Alright. The other options, the transition option, attacking boost 3, CPU alternative 3, trajectory option, reduce short speed, increased perception option elite, increased balanced, dynamic positioning, ball physics option, larger ball. These are all options. They don't require any orders actually. All right, you just have to get the standalone the highest priority. You might say, what are these are eSIM. All right, eSIM mods, and the above ones are FIFA serialism mod. So this one is my standalone. I gave it the highest priority. Then you have to give the priority to the base or the bases that you use. In my case, it's two bases. It's increased attack and PA wall side. And I have an attacking run option extreme, which is related to the increased attack base, so I have to put it above the increased attack. Other than that, every option can be, uh, I mean, can be in random order. It's fine. If you read the README files, it will show you just that. All right. And bonus, if you want to pair Fiverr's realism mod with Anth's gameplay mod on also eSIM, then the order is first things first, you have to put Fiverr's mods, then you have to put Anth's mods until this one, realism mod game, Golnets plus and this gameplay compatibility add-on. This is from Fiverr, by the way, but he says he it should be placed below Anth's gameplay mod, so it's this one, the standalone. And then lastly, the eSIM. All right, the eSIM has a mod order of its own. If you have the eSIM, go check out their mod order, and if you have Fiverr, go check out their mod order. But the only mod order for the Anthony James's gameplay mod is that you have to get the standalones or your burgers in, or you have to give your burgers the standalone the highest priority. Then you have to give your base or your foundation or foundations the highest priority. And if there is an option that's related to the base, to a certain base, then it would go above that certain base. Other than that, any other option is random. All right, it's random. There is no alphabetical order, nothing. All right, so there's that. So that was the Anthony James's gameplay mod explained in full detail. I hope I have done or said enough actually uh, to make you understand what's what actually. And I hope this video will help you guys if you are struggling to find your combinations. All right. So that's it for me today. And yeah, keep your friends safe, keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers and goodbye.